This is a copy of my tax return from 2010, just 8 short years ago, and it says that during the course of that year, I made a grand total of $9,226. Contrast that to last year, 2017, where I made easily more than 10 times that amount, and with that increase in income came some lifestyle upgrades. Back then, I lived in a cramped dorm room, and I had to share it with another person, and beyond that, I had to share a bathroom with 43 other guys in my hall, compared to today, where I've got a 2-bedroom apartment where I actually got my own bathrooms, pretty fancy I know, and I've got a pretty good view as well. Also, back then I ate all of my meals in a cafeteria or I made microwave chicken nuggets. Yes, I know those are very unhealthy, whereas today I can actually buy pretty much whatever I want. I can cook fancy food, I can go out to eat more often, so there's been a big improvement on the dining out front as well. When I look at my life now versus back then, there is no question that things have improved across the board. Yet, in many ways, I'm no happier now than I was back then. I'm certainly a happy person, but then again, I always kind of have been. So what's the deal here? I've made all this progress, I put in all this work, but for what exactly? This is a question that deserves a closer look, as my experience is not at all uncommon. In fact, it's near universal. In general, people do not find themselves happier on a day-to-day basis as a result of getting promoted, making more money, or making other life upgrades, like buying a bigger house or getting a better car. Instead, we find that as our lives improve, our desires, tastes, and expectations rise to match. The result is a sort of happiness equilibrium. This effect has been called the hedonic treadmill, or hedonic adaptation, and a lot of psychological research has gone into this concept in the recent past. But it's definitely not a new thing. As St. Augustine put it, "A true saying it is, desire hath no rest, is infinite in itself, endless, and as one calls it, a perpetual rack or horse mill." That quote is over 400 years old, and honestly, we've probably been thinking about this concept for as long as our brains have been capable of introspective thought. Still, it's easy to forget it, to get caught up dreaming about just how awesome life would be if we had just a little bit more money or just a bit more space. And of course, the modern world is all too eager to bolster these kinds of thoughts. As Daniel Kahneman, the father of behavioral economics and the author of the book Thinking Fast and Slow puts it, people are exposed to many messages that encourage them to believe that a change of weight, scent, hair color or coverage, car, clothes, or many other aspects will produce a marked improvement in their happiness. Our research suggests a moral and a warning. Nothing that you focus on will make as much difference as you think. But what if you actually do want to maximize your happiness? Or to phrase that question in a way that appeals to me more, how do you improve your average day? If getting a bigger house or making more money or getting more awards and accolades won't do it, then what will? Well, this is the kind of question that will get you a million different kinds of answers. Some will recommend minimalism, some will recommend different life philosophies or religions, and some will recommend spending more time jumping on trampolines, which I heartily agree with. But here, I simply want to suggest 5 changes that you can start making to your life that, in my experience, actually do improve the average day-to-day experience and make it a happier one. First, and I think most importantly, give yourself time to tinker, explore, and play, or protect that time if you currently have it. One thing that a lot of people start losing as they get older is this unstructured time where they can tinker and explore, and this is something that has happened to me for sure in the past few years. As I've moved further into my career, become more successful, made more money, all these kinds of things, I found that my schedule has a lot less time for this kind of exploration. I have a lot of things that are pre-planned that I have to do, and there's certainly lots of external rewards for doing those things, but I found that I don't feel I have the time anymore to spend an afternoon figuring out how to set up an Arduino or how to code something just because it seems interesting. And when your entire daily schedule is pre-planned and you feel like you're just some sort of regimented robot, things can start to get a little bit depressing. So protect that time. I actually read an article in QZ just the other day saying that doctors are now prescribing play for children because parents are in this mad dash to overschedule their kids' lives. They got them signed up for school and music lessons and sports and all kinds of stuff to the point where there's never any moment where the kid can just go outside and do whatever they want. And I don't want to knock the good intentions of these parents. They think that what they're doing is going to prepare their children for the future and give them a leg up. But as science has found recently, play is very important. So if you are a parent, give your kid unstructured time, but even if you aren't, protect your own. Play isn't something that benefits only children. It also benefits adults. It's useful at any age. Secondly, make sure that you're staying physically active and make that physical activity fun. We are built to move. We are built to exercise. We have these bodies that are adapted for working and moving through an environment. So if you're constantly sitting around, whether it be through work or whether it be coming home and watching Netflix or playing video games at the end of the night, you're naturally going to start feeling less and less happy. Now, when people are told to exercise, their brains usually go to things like running on a treadmill or getting a gym membership, things that feel like an obligation. So what I'm going to suggest for you here is to find something that you truly enjoy doing, that's fun, but that still gets your heart rate up. For me right now, that's rock climbing and mountain biking, and I still also love going to the arcades to play DDR. I found lots of ways to exercise that I'm truly excited to do every single day, and that makes my day-to-day experience a much better one. So you should do the same. All right, tip number 3 is to work to minimize things in your daily life that you don't like. Instead of asking yourself, how do I get the bigger house? How do I get the better car? How do I get that next thing that seems like it's going to improve my life exponentially? Ask yourself, what do I have to do every day that kind of annoys me? Now, I could probably make an entire video listing off examples here, so I'm just going to give you one. If you have a long commute in bumper-to-bumper traffic that you absolutely hate doing, then how could you kind of take that out of your life, or at least make it better? One suggestion would be to actually change the time at which you make that commute. A lot of people commute during rush hour because they want to get up at a certain time, they might want to work out at home and then go to work, but what if you got up maybe an hour earlier and then you drove to work at 6 a.m. when there's nobody else on the road? Or maybe instead of driving to work, you ditch the car altogether and bike to work. We actually just got an office a couple of weeks ago, and I found that it took me about 15 minutes to drive to work in regular traffic, but only 17 to ride my bike there. So really just a 2-minute difference. And if you factor in the time it takes me to drive through the garage and find a parking spot, biking is actually faster, not to mention more fun. So whatever it is, analyze the things that annoy you and start to look for ways that you can either remove those things from your life or optimize them and make them a bit more bearable. Tip number 4 is to take the occasional big break. This could be taking a vacation or inviting a friend to come stay with you and doing some different activities in your own home, but you need to break yourself out of your routine every once in a while. And this is something that I am pretty bad at. I get a lot of things on my plate and I feel like I don't have time to take a vacation, or that I need to optimize travel by, scheduling a bunch of business trips instead of just vacations. But when you actually take a vacation, you get a mental reset. And that mental reset sort of revitalizes your brain's ability to work effectively and makes you overall happier. So if you have the time, or even if you don't feel you have the time, find the time to take these big breaks. They don't have to take a lot of money. They don't have to involve a ton of travel. They just need to get you out of your normal routine and have you do something different. Now, we've got one more tip that I want to share with you here, which is really, really important. But before I share it, I do want to also share an observation about something that is not going to make you happy. So if you think about the hedonic treadmill, if you think about the fact that these increases in your life in whatever areas they may come from aren't going to make you happier on a day-to-day basis, then it becomes pretty clear that a lot of the reasons that we use social media for, such as growing our follower count or getting more retweets or likes or all these things, aren't going to make you happy. And I think this bears mentioning because the people, the engineers, the product designers who are behind these companies are paid huge salaries to design these apps in a way that makes them essentially addicting, that makes them feel like they are going to make you happier. But from personal experience, I can tell you that your average day-to-day happiness is not going to change when you go from 2 likes per tweet to 100 likes per tweet. It really doesn't make a difference. So yes, use social media to bring about certain benefits. You can make new relationships through it. You can bolster your career through it, but don't be chasing those vanity metrics, the likes and the retweets and the followers, because they will not make you happy. But what will make you happy, which is our final tip here, is face-to-face interaction with other people on a daily basis. I really want to mention this explicitly because a lot of people are content to have digital relationships, to IM people, to talk to people over Skype or play games together. And these things are all great and they can forge good friendships, but nothing replaces actually seeing people face to face and doing things with them in real life. Now, with all this talk about the hedonic treadmill and how all these progressions aren't going to necessarily improve your day-to-day life in the way that you think they will, I do think it bears mentioning that I am not suggesting you abandon all of your goals, sell your possessions, and go live in the mountain as an ascetic. unless you want to. I mean, that could be pretty cool. I think Martin would want to do it. But seriously, the fact that increasing your income or getting a promotion at your job or getting a better house won't necessarily improve your day-to-day happiness as much as you think it will doesn't mean that these goals aren't worthwhile. For one, achieving those goals might lead to opening doors that actually could lead to day-to-day happiness improvements. But a more important point is this. I believe that an integral part of being happy is the very process of evolving and progressing. Human beings are built to explore, to test their limits, to constantly try new things. We are not happy being stagnant. As Ray Dalio put it, evolving is life's greatest accomplishment and its greatest reward. Now, one area where progression and evolution tend to bring pretty quick happiness improvements is in creative expression. In fact, I find that I'm much happier when I figure out how to, say, film something really cool like this slow-mo shot, or learn a new editing technique. And the great thing is, these improvements in creative expression tend to come a lot more frequently than big career jumps. So if you want to further improve your average day, find a way to get creative. You could do it the way that I do it, through making videos or playing music, or the way that my best friend Martin does it, through macro photography, or in many other fields out there that you probably haven't discovered yet. And if you want to accelerate your skill development in the field that you choose and master new techniques quickly, check out Skillshare. Skillshare has an expansive catalog of over 20,000 courses in tons of different topic areas like digital animation, video editing, drawing, and business, and lots more. Their courses are also hands-on, almost always including a sample project that you can sink your teeth into so you can start learning actively. Now, one course that I want to highlight for you this week is the Fundamentals of DSLR Photography by Justin Bridges. Photography has a ton of disciplines. Yes, there's macro photography, there's landscapes and portraits, but all of these disciplines rely on a fundamental foundation of camera skills, aperture, lighting, ISO, shutter speed. And Justin's course goes through all of these different techniques, along with recommendations of what camera gear you should buy in the first place and the best settings to use. So if you want to start working through Justin's course or any of the other courses in Skillshare's catalog, then click the link in the description down below and sign up. And when you do, you're going to get 2 months of completely unlimited access to their entire catalog of courses absolutely free. After that, Skillshare is still very affordable, costing about as much as a Netflix subscription, so this is definitely something you should try if you want to start improving your skills. I want to give a big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video and being a supporter of this channel, and as always guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, consider hitting that like button and also hit subscribe right there so you don't miss out on new videos when they come out every single week. You can also click right there to get a free copy of my book on how to earn better grades. Follow me on Instagram over at Tom Frankly, or click right around here to get one more video on this channel. Thanks so much for watching guys, and I will see you in the next video.